So today has finally arrived. Microsoft has released the Microsoft Surface Laptop Studio. This is replacing the Surface Book laptop that we saw and we reviewed in the past. This device looks incredible, and I am so excited to see how this is going to integrate into my digital planning, note-taking world. So today, guys, that's what we're going to do. We are going to look at this device from a handwritten standpoint. What does it mean for you as a creator, as a person that's journaling, someone that's running a business, someone taking notes in school? This device, is it truly the all-in-one computer that you can use from everything from your email to your creative life to your digital planning and note-taking? Let's find out. Well, guys, I'm really excited to bring this video to you, even after all the trouble it took to get to where I am right now. It has been just a windfall of bad luck here. I spilled my coffee, the battery went dead. Maybe there'll be some bloopers at the end you guys can watch. But really, let's talk about the new Microsoft lineup. They had an incredible display of some new devices, everything from the Laptop Studio to the Surface Pro to the new Surface Duo that's coming out here next month. We're going to show you all these products and more. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. And if you get one thing out of this video, go ahead and hit the like button so we can share it. If you got any questions, by all means, hit them in the comments. Myself or somebody in the community, I'm sure, will reach out to you. So talking about the Laptop Studio, I'm not a personal fan favorite of this name. I think they could have did a little better. They also could have did better in the boxing process. I mean, honestly, laptop, power cable, that's really all I really expected. But the number of boxes and packaging that we had to unpack to get to this, I think Microsoft can take one from Apple and learn that less is more. So getting it out of the box, it felt solid, it felt stable. You know, I was expecting to kind of compare this between the Surface Book 3 and the Surface Pro. And yeah, it definitely is somewhere in the middle. I mean, I definitely think overall as a laptop, it's a step above the Surface Book. But when I started to use the device, there was one thing that kind of just hit me that I just am unsure about. You know, there's 3 different viewing angles. The first one makes sense. It's totally for typing. I get that, very much laptop-like. The second viewing angle we'll get to in a second, but the third viewing angle of being able to handwrite and take notes felt natural, made sense to me. But then there's this middle ground, this viewing angle that really I don't know what its real purpose is. I mean, if you're watching movies and you need to navigate from one Netflix video to another or another YouTube video, it makes sense. I don't know personally if I find myself using this viewing angle, but it is there for you. Out of all of this, just moving from angle to angle, I really am skeptic of this hinge. Now, I will be fairly honest, when Surface Pro came out, I think it was a 3rd edition, and they made that new angle or that new hinge on it, I was skeptic of that as well. But this one to me, I mean, it feels troublesome. I mean, there's a point where you're simply opening the device or switching viewing angles, and the screen is really just being held to the fabric as well as to the ribbon of the screen. And I hope and I pray, and I'm pretty sure, and I'm gonna have some blind faith, that Microsoft has thought through this. I mean, the last thing they want is hundreds and thousands of laptops coming back to them that really become overweight keyboards with thin, non-working tablet displays. If it works, it's going to be great. I think it is awesome. I think it's definitely shows some ingenuity that's taken place at Microsoft, especially in the whole tablet lineup. Over the last several years, Microsoft has done an incredible job getting us to a point where note-taking is really possible on these type of devices. I remember the very first Surface Pro that came out. It got me excited to do digital planning once again. And that's when we started to create our own planning system, the Key to Success planning system. If you guys haven't seen it already, there's going to be a handful of videos and links in the description to show you all about it. It really is something that takes that traditional paper-like planning system that we've used for decades and puts it in front of you in your face on these tablets, on these devices, in your hands and the phone, and gives you the opportunity to really have a daily planning with you. So I've already had this device for the last 24 hours, and I can tell you that I placed an order for a more powerful edition. The reason why I looked at this studio laptop was I wanted something that would be my all-in-one. I'm a big photographer. I love videography, and I'm in creative marketing, digital marketing, call it that. And I'm constantly on the go, and I need something that I can compute, I can do daily tasks, and I can definitely do some photo and video editing from time to time when I'm away from my office. But at the same time, I'm a huge note taker, as you guys know, and I wanted to have just one device. I'm so used to carrying around a MacBook Pro and an iPad, which are great devices, and it works seamlessly between the two products. I just wanted to get down to having one. And this product, I'm hoping, is that solution. But let's dive into the actual note-taking and digital planning capabilities of this device. The first thing we really got to talk about with this device, digital planning, note-taking, is the new pen that came out. Now this pen, I traditionally have came from using the previous pens that were with the other Surface lineup, and I recently used a slim pen with the Surface Dual, and I liked it. The form factor felt good. But one thing that's always kind of like, I've always not liked about writing with any electronics or any tablet was writing on glass. So when they first introduced this device and they showcased the adaptive motor of this device, I was like, okay, that's cool. I mean, we've seen this before, the vibrations, the sensations that give you more of a real life feeling. But I will be the first to testify that honestly, it truly does make a difference. Even to a point that I am not going to look at any matte screen covers or any other type of overlay that give me a more paper-like feel. Writing with this pen over the last 24 hours has definitely felt natural. In addition to that adaptive motor, we also have the ability to have a button on top of the pen for quick access to different functions, which also works as an eraser, and then a side button as well. Now the side button, generally for me when I'm taking notes, I'm using it as a lasso tool that allows me to quickly circle, type, text, and go ahead and move that from one place to another place. So this pen alone really is an upgrade. Now it's only available in the latest version of the Surface Pro and the Studio laptop. So you're not going to be able to use it on pre-existing devices, but if you are upgrading to one of these devices, you're going to have that advantage to use this pen. And I do think it really enhances that note-taking, daily planning experience. So let's go ahead and talk about note-taking. I'm a personal fan favorite of OneNote. I think it is the best note-taking application, and not just because we're talking about Microsoft here, but it really has a lot of functionality that a lot of other note application systems don't have. They have a more paper-like experience in a notebook sense, and I'll get to that in a second. OneNote to me, and I'm sure I'm going to get people in the comments that are going to disagree, but just hear me out for a minute. You can go ahead and comment anyway, and I'll definitely give you some additional thoughts. There is some other tools that you can't use in other note-taking apps. I get that. But for the overall business professional, the person that is trying to make the most out of daily planning and just digital life, this note-taking application, OneNote, I purely think is the best. And for this reason alone, one, it is capable of being used on all platforms. If you have a Windows device, if you have an Apple computer, an iPad, if you have a Surface product, of course, Android, or you can access this online on any online browser by simply going to onenote.com, and your notes sync seamlessly across all of those. The second reason I like OneNote is because I think of it as a binder-like system. We think of Franklin Covey, and Franklin Covey was a binder-like system versus some of the other planners out there are paper-like notebook planners. Now, when I think of paper-like notebook planners, I think of apps like NoteShelf and Nobility and GoodNotes. They're great at being paper-like, but they don't have the ability to expand sections and add additional details to those actual notebooks themselves without messing with the file system that is native to that note-taking app or daily planner that you've installed. With OneNote and our planning system, you can create sections and categories where you can build out an entire binder system. So everything from our CRM toolkit that helps you organize your customers, your prospects, and your sales activities, to our social communication planner that helps you market your digital life, expand your business online by scheduling your posts and being creative in that sense, to actually diving into your journaling and note-taking. This is something you can do with OneNote, and you can build it out and customize it to yourself, your organization, to your business, or to the team that you're working with. That is the biggest reason why I like OneNote. And with the Microsoft product lineup using Windows, you get some great additional features. I mean, having the ability to do side-by-side note taking, I can have a browser open on one side of my screen. I can go ahead and have notes on the right side of my screen. I can even have two notebooks or 2 pages from the same notebook open side by side. This is really big for me when it comes to my weekly planning. I'll have my weekly planning page on one side, and then I'll go into my individual dates on the other side to really get the most out of my daily planning activities. Now, if you are new to OneNote, no problem. Hit the description, hit this link right up here. We got a quick 10-minute video that shows you how to use OneNote, how to integrate it into your digital life. So I highly encourage you, even if you feel comfortable with it, there's definitely some tips and tricks in there. And we got a whole bunch of videos out there that shows you how to use hyperlinks, how to use snap to grid, turn that on and off. So again, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, like our page, and you guys are going to want to follow and look at those videos. I am really excited to get this device into my daily routine and use it for note taking, use it for daily tasking, and I would definitely tell you guys more. I'll share it with you on my Instagram and Facebook page, my thoughts and comments as we dive into this. So guys, this is a quick look, first impression at using a studio laptop or laptop studio for digital note taking. I'm really impressed by it. I think it's going to be something that a lot of you guys are going to benefit from. This new pen that we see here is definitely adding a lot of cool features to this environment. I'm Brandon Bonedorfer, creator and founder of the Key to Success Planning System. And guys, I will see you in the next one, and God bless each and every one of you.